everyone. Welcome back to Dreams of Music and Makeup, or welcome here if this is your first video with me. Thanks for stopping by. I'm glad to have you. Consider subscribing if you are new around here. I post 2 beauty videos every week, and I really like giving you guys what you want to see. Please leave any new requests in the comments down below. I am wearing a weird piece of jewelry, so I figured we'd address it from the beginning. This is made from an old utensil and was made into a pendant, and I really like it. I don't know who makes it or anything like that. I wear quirky things that I bought a long time ago, so I'm sorry. Today, I thought we would do another anti-haul because I didn't realize I've only done one of these and it's been so long now. So none of those are new products anymore, so I figured let's talk about some new launches. Lord knows we have plenty to talk about in this industry. If you are not familiar with this genre on YouTube, I believe it was started by Kimberly Clark. I will link her playlist for these videos on her channel down below if I'm able to do that. Otherwise, I will just link her channel for you. She is currently on a brief hiatus. I believe, I can't remember if it's Kimberly or Chris that is on a tour right now. So she is not currently putting out videos, but her content is wonderful. She originated this idea. What I'm going to be talking about today are some new releases in the makeup industry that I am not going to be buying and why. And not all of them are just because I don't want them, because that's not really an anti-haul. So I think it's important to emphasize things that you might be tempted to buy and, you know, talk yourself out of them. I think that's a really important quality, especially in this day and age when we are bombarded constantly with the next latest and greatest thing that's going to make our life so much easier. The reality is it's all powder and paint. There may be different consistencies, different manufacturers, but ultimately it's all powder or liquid color. There's only so many variations of it, right? Let's treat it as such. If you're excited for this video, give it a thumbs up. That helps me out a lot. And let's get into it. If you see me looking over here, it's because I have my list of products over here and I couldn't memorize them. Your girl's human, I'm sorry. First thing I want to mention is the Milk Makeup Watermelon Brightening Serum. This product is supposed to be a serum in a stick. Personally, I don't want any skincare, makeup, anything in a stick. My reasoning is that I am more acne prone. In my mind, having something in a stick that you're putting on your skin every day is introducing and breeding bacteria on that product because it's making direct contact with your skin. Granted, it's hopefully going on clean skin because it is a serum, so that would go on like after your toner before a moisturizer. But also, when I'm thinking brightening, I think of vitamin C, which is not going to be stable in this solid stick that's not airtight. I may be weird in this. If I am not alone in this, please leave in the comments down below like a little watermelon emoji or something. But I actually hate watermelon. Like, of all the fruits out there, even artificially flavored watermelon, I can't do it. I just can't. It's just not my thing. So the fact that this has watermelon in the title immediately makes me not that interested in it. Do I think it's cool? Yes. Do I think it's nice that you don't have a liquid to go through TSA with? Yes. Am I gonna spend $36 to try it out and see if it does anything? Nope. I want to mention the Kim Kardashian West line. Now, she is not someone that I am particularly drawn to in Hollywood. The Kardashians are not a thing for me. I have never really kept up with them, regardless of the title of their show. But she recently launched a Conceal, Bake, and Brighten set, which you can purchase them individually, but she launched concealers, a baking powder, and brightening powders. Totally separate note, I do have some ColourPop concealers that should be arriving any moment, and I'm really excited to test those out for you in an upcoming video. Back to what we're talking about, the anti-haul. So the Kim Kardashian West Conceal, Bake, and Brighten trio, or set, whatever it's called. Does it interest me? Yes. Concealers, any new concealers that claim to be full coverage, have my attention. So I was tempted in that respect. However, I think that the shade range is kind of sad considering who it came from. Now, I'm not going to get on that tangent about how all businesses need to cater to every single skin tone known to man. It's just not going to happen. And I know that there are lots of reasons for that. Like Essence is originally from Germany, so they're not going to cater to skin tones that don't sell in Germany, you know, things like that. And it's just so funny to me that like she would be that in the dark since supposedly she's working with her makeup artist and all this stuff. And that's the next thing I want to mention is the Kim Kardashian West and Mario collection. That I'm also not going to be buying. It's tempting, don't get me wrong. I missed out on the Makeup by Mario collaboration with Anastasia Beverly Hills a couple years ago. I kick myself every time I see that on the internet again because that was one that I should have purchased and did not. So I was excited to see this eyeshadow palette that they came out with because I think Mario has just a beautiful vision as an artist, and he has just this incredible talent of making it come to life, and I truly enjoy him. I was a little bit drawn in by the shades. I was surprised that I was drawn in by the shades. That cobalt blue looks absolutely stunning, and that kind of deep taupey, weird, deep crease color on the end really fascinates me as well. I would really love to see that on my skin tone or on a similar skin tone just so I can see what it looks like, because I don't have anything like that color in my collection. But I'm not going to buy a palette for 2 shades. Call me crazy, but $45 would be a lot for 2 new eyeshadows to enter my collection, and they also have some lipsticks and some lip glosses. I don't need to spend $20 on a lip product. I mean, I have lip products coming out my ears. I have tons of lip products, and spending $18 to $20 on one just doesn't really hold much appeal for me right now. Though they might be good products, I do believe that they are marked up for the name. They're also marked up when, you know, she's collaborating now with Mario, so those prices are increased so that he can get a cut of it as well. I tend to not go for collaborations. I'm not going to include any more collaborations in this anti-haul because I am generally against them. Being a YouTuber, I try to not pick up that many limited edition items so that whatever I'm using, you guys can still get your hands on when you're watching my videos. Things that are limited edition, I have to save for off-camera time, and it doesn't make it any help or use to you guys. The Kat Von D 10th anniversary collection is supposed to be launching, I believe, around Cinco de Mayo. She recently showed a sneak peek of the eyeshadow palette that's going to be included in that collection, and it is stunning. Very colorful. It is very Kat Von D appropriate. It is a lot of mattes, some shimmers. It's just beautiful. And I regretted not getting a limited edition palette from her in the past. The metal matte I thought was lovely and people loved, as well as the Mi Vida Loca Remix palette, which I believe was holiday 2016 or 2015. I can't remember now. But it was the one that looked like a record that had the full spectrum of colors around it. That I regret not purchasing. I have to say, my only ammunition in wanting to purchase this anniversary palette is that I regretted not purchasing the last colorful palette that she launched. I'm gonna talk myself out of this right now by saying those colors are not going to make it on my eyes as often as they should, because that's not my comfort zone. If you've been around here before, you know those greens, those blues, that kind of stuff is not my comfort zone. I prefer warm tones, I prefer greens and purples and things like that, colors that are found in nature. I'd like to think that I'm an artist and I'm going to do these crazy, fun, colorful things, but I don't end up doing it generally. So it wouldn't make sense for me to spend upwards of $50 on this limited edition colorful palette that you guys won't be able to get your hands on anymore, and for it to just sit in my collection and collect dust. I don't believe in buying makeup for a collector's item. I just don't. If you have an emotional connection to something and it is literally named after you, sure, like, keep it in a cabinet somewhere, show your friends, like, cool. But the moment we get to the point where we're just buying makeup to look at it and not to use it and not to put it on anybody or anything, oh, I have mascara flake. That's bonkers to me. That is absolute insanity. Why would you purchase something just to not use it when it has a purpose? That is just the marketing getting to us, guys. So please, please do not purchase makeup that you do not intend to use for it to sit on a shelf and collect dust. People would have thought you were nuts 10 years ago. They probably would have put you in the psych ward. But now it's far more normal behavior. It's crazy. Don't do it. Becca Cosmetics is launching a new lip gloss that they're calling the Glow Gloss. It's going to be $22 a piece. And like I mentioned before, I like Becca. I've swatched their crystal lip toppers, which was the first gloss, to my knowledge, that they came out with, and it was incredibly, incredibly sticky. This new Glow Gloss is in the same packaging, so while it may be a new formula, in my mind, I already don't like the gloss because I already didn't like the one in that same packaging previously. But also, I already have a couple of gloss favorites that are more in that price point. So as far as glosses that I do like and would repurchase, I really enjoy the Anastasia lip glosses that are full color. Those are $16. And I really enjoy the Buxom plumping glosses, both formulas, and those are $20. So still less expensive than the Becca one, and those are plumping. I don't know that the Becca ones are going to plump at all, and so therefore I'd be spending $22 on a lip gloss. I'm also not going to spend $30 on a Marc Jacobs gloss. I'm just not. It's just not for me. Urban Decay is launching a beached collection, which is kind of centered around this beached eyeshadow palette that has these beautiful bronzy and kind of teal blue colors in it. And I have to say, this eyeshadow palette would be tempting to me if any other company made it. I don't care for the Urban Decay eyeshadow formula. It has not served me well in the past. I find that it has a lot of fallout. You have to really build up the colors, almost like a drugstore palette with the mattes, and the shimmers just aren't as intense as they look in the pan. So for me, for a high-end or mid to high-end palette, I would never spend it on Urban Decay. That's just my personal preference. It doesn't work for me. I love their primer potion, like they do a lot of things right. I love their setting spray, but their eyeshadows for me have just never really done it. For that reason, even though these colors are beautiful and I would love to add them to my collection, I probably have a lot of them already. And because Urban Decay made this palette, I really don't want it. Frankly, I think that Urban Decay shadows are overrated and maybe my chemistry just doesn't like them. Maybe it's just me, and that's totally fine. It's $34 that's gonna stay in my pocket and not be spent on that palette. The Morphe Continuous Setting Spray. You didn't think I would ever mention Morphe again, did you? Morphe I do not support as a brand. I have spent a lot of money on their products and have not been impressed, and kind of made a vow not to give them any more of my money. I've been really tempted by this setting mist though, I'm not gonna lie, because it's different in that it's an aerosol and it's a continuous mist. For that reason alone, the makeup junkie in me, the makeup investigator that wants to try all the makeup, really wants this. But I will say it's $15 for 2 ounces of aerosol. So realistically, mostly just air compressed in there. And to me, that just seems really high for Morphe, for, you know, the kind of brand that they are. In my opinion, very subpar products, but to each their own. It looks really nice, and it looks like it'd be a nice, just kind of like dewy set. It doesn't necessarily extend the makeup, but does almost like a Fix Plus would. That is one of my favorite setting sprays, so it's kind of tempting to me to try that. I won't do it. I can't. Honestly, a setting spray, a $15 setting spray, it's not worth me investing again in this company that I think is so shady. I would highly encourage you to, if you don't already, someone mentioned this in the comments recently, and I thought that was just such a relevant point, especially in this day and age. And you may notice a couple of brands that never even make it into a discussion on my channel, and that is intentional. There are brands that I wouldn't touch with a 30-foot pole. I think that we are responsible to inform ourselves about who these retailers are, and especially with everything at our fingertips nowadays, with all this information available, we really should be more knowledgeable about who we're giving our money to. Now, are you just giving your money away? No, but you are investing in a company, whether you like to think of it that way or not. Morphe is not a company I will ever invest in again. I'm not gonna buy it. Sorry. Rihanna recently debuted a couple of Fenty Beauty items that are set to launch, I believe, in May. She launches the Body Lava, which is a liquid illuminizer, for $59. Ow. And a Fairy Bomb, which is a fur puff loaded with shimmer powder, for $42. I don't really know who wants body glitter anymore. I mean, maybe the Fairy Bomb is more finely milled than that. Maybe it's more of a shimmer or something like that we're more used to. I feel like they had those so much of the time in like those little cheesy little girl shops, the little like puff with all the shimmer in it. Oh, the thought of it is just so juvenile and weird, and I don't want glitter on my body. It's so silly to me. Like, I laughed out loud when I saw that was what she was launching. Now, the liquid like body glow, I get it. Like, does it need to be labeled body glow? Maybe, if it has fragrance in it. You can use any liquid illuminizer on your body. It doesn't need to be specified that way. It's coming out in a couple of colors. I think the colors are beautiful, but I'm not much of a liquid highlighter fan, and though they are stunning, I'm not going to use it just because it's Fenty Beauty. I know myself, and even if I buy the best cream highlighter out there, I'll use it a couple of times, then I'll get really irritated at using it, and then it'll just sit there. I'm not going to invest in either of these things, neither the Body Glow or the Glitter Bomb Furball. Givenchy is coming out with a cool new bouncy highlighter. It's called the Bouncy Highlighter Cooling Jelly Glow. Could they make the name a little longer? It's not long enough for me. Could you work on that, Givenchy? This is a $41 highlighter. Is this color gorgeous? Absolutely, I'm sure it is. Why not try an $8 cream highlight from ColourPop that they've had forever and just see if you like the formula that way? Why would you pay $41 for this? I don't understand. Like last year, Lancome did the same thing. They launched a highlighter that was the same formula as ColourPop stuff. Got discontinued. It's like, why are people gonna pay more for the same thing that they can get really easily for inexpensive? IT Cosmetics has recently launched their Bye Bye Pores bronzer, which is available on QVC right now with a brush for around $32, I want to say. And I was tempted by this at first. I was like, ooh, Bye Bye Pores bronzer? Like, sign me up. I'm cool with that. The areas where you put bronzer tend to be areas where I'm prone to texture, so that sounded really good to me. And the moment I went and investigated further, I realized they came out with one shade. Yep, it's 2018, and IT Cosmetics thinks it's still appropriate to launch one bronzer shade. They get harped on all the time because their CC cream has 5 colors that are by no means fitting to everyone who wants to wear that. I think they launched a foundation recently with like 12 colors. That was like impressive because more than 5, but not impressive because still lame and not enough colors and not the right colors when they do try to do deeper things or lighter things. I can't believe that they think that one bronzer will suit all skin tones. That's not the case. I mean, I've talked about this before where it's like certain products, if they are pigmented to a certain point and you just go in with a light hand, they just become patchy. Like if you use things that are too dark for you and try to use it with a light hand, depending on the pigmentation, it can just look like garbage. Don't play that game of like buying things that you think are good but don't fit your skin tone and just try to work around it. It doesn't always work that way. Especially with powder products, with blushes, with bronzers, highlights. Don't buy something that's not going to look good on your skin as it is, because you can't really fiddle with that beyond a certain point. In my experience, buying bronzers that are too dark for me, they always look patchy when I try to apply them lightly. And I can't imagine being someone who is more of a medium to tan or deep skin tone and seeing this bronzer and it being lighter than my actual skin tone. Like I can't imagine the disappointment of so many of these launches when you actually look further and see what's available. Again, vote with your dollar. Do I think it's okay to come out with one bronzer shade? No, I don't. Not gonna support it with my money. Benefit launched their Gold Rush Golden Nectar Blush thing. Okay, Benefit, I see what you're doing. I see you marketing a medium to deep skin highlighter as a blush so that more people will buy it and you won't lose your investment that way. I think it's sly, I think it's kind of slimy, and I don't like it. I really don't. Like, honestly, I think that's what they did. I think that they formulated a highlighter that is for more medium to deep skin tones and marketed it as a blush so that we would buy it. Now, if it's a spray over, I'm wrong, and I'm totally okay with being wrong. But I don't believe it's a spray over because it's described as the color of the blush. So I don't believe that that's just the top layer. I think that's really shady. I think if you're gonna come out with a highlight that's for medium to deep skin tones, market it as such. I think it's really, really sketchy how they came about that because like, that's not a blush. That's not a blush. It might be a blush topper, but it's not a blush. I just think it's ridiculous how they're trying to get around the actual reality of what this product is. And Benefit is someone who has never really catered to deeper skin tones, at least not well. It's not a new thing for Benefit, but I found that incredibly disappointing. It's like, you know, just call it what it is. That is not a blush. Before I get more angry at them, let's talk about something else. Maybelline is going to launch their Lemonade Craze eyeshadow palette. I believe it's available for pre-order on Amazon, if I did remember that correctly. This is an $11 eyeshadow palette. It's called the Lemonade Craze, and it only has one yellow in the entire palette. I found that pretty comical, to be honest with you. Now, granted, is yellow the only color lemonade can be? No, but I just thought it was funny that that was the focus of the palette and there's only one shade that fits that description. I have not been a fan of Maybelline eyeshadows in the past, so I don't think that this one is going to be leagues ahead of the others. The colors are very different from anything that Maybelline has really done before and very different from what's usually available at the drugstore. It also says that it's lemon scented. Anything that's scented that I'm going to be putting around my eyes is instantly an irritant. I have no interest in putting scented anything around my eyeballs. No thanks. I have sensitive eyes because I can't even use pencil liners. I've had 2 corrective eye surgeries and it just makes them flood with tears and I wash off everything beneath that. I am not interested in putting a lemon scented eyeshadow on my eyeballs and potentially getting a reaction to that. No thanks. I'm gonna go ahead and let someone else take that bullet. These next ones are almost painful for me to talk about because I want to buy them as much as I don't want to buy them. We're including them in this haul, in this anti-haul, because I need you guys to hold me accountable for a little while because this is really hard. And what I'm mentioning is the Anastasia collaboration with Amrezy. This highlighter palette has been all over social media. It's been sent to just about everybody in PR. I am not fancy enough to get PR yet. I'm just little old me. I cannot stop drooling over every picture that this highlight is used in. It is just stunning. I don't care what skin tone it's on. I mean, it's just jaw-droppingly gorgeous. I really want it. I'm not gonna lie to you, I want it. The reason why I have not purchased it is because it's limited edition and it's a collaboration, which I do not usually do because it's not gonna serve me on this channel. So it's literally just money spent on just me for my private use, and it doesn't make sense. I don't need another highlight for that purpose. I really don't. I have other highlighters that aren't available to you that I can use that are beautiful. They're even by Anastasia. But I really want to try this one. I really want it, but I'm not going to buy it because you guys won't be able to get your hands on it past a certain point, and then what's the point in me having it? There is none. So as much as I want it, I'm really glad that I have you guys to have my back and, you know, essentially remind me that I don't need it. So I need another highlight like I need a hole in the head. We all know this if you've been around here for very long, but Anastasia also launched their bronzers on that same day. These came out in February, but I am still tempted by them. I love certain bronzers, but it's not like I have one that I won't use any other one. And I'm like, maybe it'll be the one. It's never gonna be the one. I don't need a $28 bronzer. I got several bronzers. They're all brown, they're all bronzy, and this one is not going to be filled with unicorn farts or anything special. It's not gonna be anything different than what I already own. It's just in different packaging made by different people. That is how I'm convincing myself to not buy these bronzers. This one gets me a little heated, so forgive me if I get a little sassy. Bear with me for a moment. Glam Glow has collaborated with My Little Pony to bring us yet another gravity mud mask. This one is not only gravity mud, but it's also glitter. Stay in your lane. Why are you putting glitter in a skincare product? There's no point. You literally are just selling this to people to take selfies, to sell it to more people. Not to mention, I don't like the Glam Glow Gravity Mud Mask either because the second ingredient is polyvinyl alcohol so that you can peel it off your skin. But that means that none of those other ingredients are really helping you. It's not good. It's dehydrating the outer layers of your face so they appear tighter. Tell me how that's helpful long term? I dare you. It's so stupid. It is not a skincare item. It is literally just a vanity item. It's just for pictures. It is not helping. It's not doing anything good. If anything, it's harming your moisture barrier. No thanks. I don't care what color the glitter is. I don't care who bought the glitter. I don't care if My Little Ponies ground it up themselves and sent it down on a cloud of rainbows. I don't care. I'm not going to put that mask on my face. You can. I wouldn't encourage it. Also, the fact that it's $59 for this mask that doesn't do anything good for your skin, that hurts a little bit. I can find far better ways to spend 60 bucks. Bite Beauty has been launching new lipsticks from their Astrology collection. I believe monthly, as you would kind of assume with the name Astrology collection. I really like Bite Beauty. Unfortunately, I had to stop using most of their products because they are heavily reliant on castor oil, which is an allergen for me, and I can't use it. That's one of those naturally occurring oils that's good for your hair, skin, and nails. I'm allergic to it, so I can't use anything that has it in there. Bite Beauty has a lot of castor oil included in their products. So that aside, if these lipsticks did not have castor oil in them, I still would not buy them. Again, I feel like makeup companies are playing to our every whim. They want you to collect. They want you to buy these things and not use them. They want you to just keep buying. And that is why these are not releasing all at the same time. They're releasing one at a time, and then they're limited edition, and then they sell out so people freak out, and then the next one that comes out, oh, well, I better get it or I'm not going to get it at all. And it's so twisted. I have no ties to astrology. It's not an interest of mine. It's not something that I necessarily think holds a lot of truth for me personally. If you feel differently, great, good for you. We're all our own people. That's kind of what makes this world interesting. Not only should my sign be a nude, which it isn't, I have no interest in buying something just because it's my sign, or I bought it because it's not my sign, but I like the color, but it's a Pisces. It's another gimmick they're working on because astrology is this popular thing right now. It's a trendy thing, so they're doing that to make more money off of it. I think it's sneaky and sly and slimy, and I don't like it. TrendMood posted a picture a little while ago of J-Lo. She's wearing one of the bronzers. I'll try to insert this picture here so you can see what I'm talking about. The fact that they were trying to sell this makeup line by this picture tells me everything I need to know about it. That bronzer looks terrible. It looks like orange. It looks like she's part orangutan. Nobody wants that. That's been like since the beginning of time. No one wants an orange bronzer. Like, unless you're crazy, crazy yellow undertoned, that doesn't look good on you. It doesn't look good on J-Lo. How's it gonna look good on me? Natasha DeNona recently launched her mini sunset palette, which is a small, very small, 5-pan palette for $25. I was totally tempted to purchase this because I haven't gotten to try anything from Natasha DeNona yet. If you're unfamiliar, she is one of the most famous makeup artists currently and has made her own makeup line that is very expensive but very high quality performing products. I've been tempted to try her eyeshadows before, and they're incredibly pricey, even individually. I believe the individual shades are like $28. And these are not full-size pans, they're much smaller, they're like minis. But I've heard that this palette is not the same formula as her other palettes, so for that reason, even if that's just a suspicion, or even that's just some people's opinion and not everyone's, that's enough for me to know that, nope, it's not Natasha DeNona for a more reasonable price point, it's just kind of a crappier palette, so no thanks. I don't need to spend $25 on a subpar palette. I want to briefly touch on something that was created by a YouTuber. This is not a collaboration. This is a brand that a YouTuber has come out with, and that is Halo Beauty. This is a very controversial topic. I'm not going to sound off and join the rest of the chaos going off on Tati, but I was disappointed as well when I learned that her first product launch for her beauty line would be supplements, as I'm someone who can appreciate, you know, a skincare product to incorporate into my routine that might make some differences, but as someone who has had a lot of different health diagnoses, complications, things like that, and knowing that a lot of other people have similar lives, I just think this was really ballsy. It's not something I'm tempted to buy. I mean, is it tempting? Yes. Now there's people coming out with before and afters where it's like, it literally looks like it's helping rehydrate their skin and stuff like that. I don't know how that's going to affect my entire body, and frankly, it's not a risk I'm willing to take. If that's something you're willing to do, more power to you, good for you. I'd love to hear your thoughts and how it's going for you. But for me personally, it just does not make sense. The risks outweigh the benefits, in my opinion, for my case specifically, so I will not be purchasing the Halo Beauty dietary supplement. I also think that $40 for a 30-day supply is kind of crazy for the average person. That's kind of a lot. No. The last thing I want to talk about is something that I am very tempted to buy, and I kind of want you guys to tell me if I should get it or not, and that is the Becca Hydra Mist Set and Refresh Powder. This is $38. It is made with 50% water and glycerin. I want to try this just to experience it, but I also really have dry skin, and so I feel like if it's something that would not be drying out my skin, I'm thinking this could be a really great powder for me personally, and I would love to try it out for you guys in a video, but at the same time, I'm like, it's $38 for a face powder. I have face powders. I have plenty of face powders. I have really great face powders for a quarter of that price. But I really want to try it. I really want to feel the whole, like, you put it on your brush and then it feels like you have a wet brush touching your face when you apply it. It's really intriguing to me, and I would really like to experience it because that is unique. Though I've seen some people, like I think it was Taylor from The Tayla, who said that it almost oxidized her color products underneath and made it darker. So that's kind of my reason why I'm like, maybe, but I don't know. Have you guys gotten this powder? What do you think of it? I would love to hear your thoughts. I'm still kind of on the fence with this one. Everything else, I'm pretty solid, aside from the Anastasia things. Thank you for your support. I need you guys. Let me know. Is there something on here that's on your shopping list? Tell me down below. What is launching that you are determined not to buy this season? I would love to hear your thoughts. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a big thumbs up so that I know. That helps me out so much, and I really appreciate it. If you have requests for new videos or new content from me, please leave them in the comments down below. I do read everything, and I love hearing from you. I hope you subscribe if you haven't already. I'm not sure what you're waiting for, but I would love to have you. And if you want to stay updated with all my uploads, click that bell next to the subscribe button. That'll do that for you. As always, I hope you're having a wonderful day or evening wherever you are. I hope you keep dreaming, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.